Hello and welcome. This is Christina Hills with the Website Creation Workshop and the Website Marketing Workshop, and you are here for the top 10 plugins every website needs and why. And my name, again, is Christina Hills. So I have been teaching WordPress since 2008. I am a WordPress coach and teacher, and I've taught coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, and business owners how to create their websites in WordPress. I've been running that for the past 15 years. And before that, I was a visual effects artist working for George Lucas's company, Industrial Light and Magic. And some of the films that I worked on were E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Jurassic Park 2, and the most famous was Star Wars Episode 1. So if you go and rent Star Wars Episode 1 and you look in the credits, you will see my name listed as a digital artist. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We are talking about WordPress websites. So if you don't have a WordPress site, you're going to want to probably join my foundational course, and you can email support@websitecreationworkshop.com if you want to get in, and I'm going to explain more about this in just a few more slides. So your website is made up of pages, right? You often have a home page, maybe a program or services page, about page, contact page, and a blog. And under your programs, maybe you do group coaching or personal consulting. You might have various different types of programs or services that you offer. And then on your blog, you will have different articles, right? And some people have blogs and some people don't have blogs. And I think it's a good idea, and I'll tell you more later on. So here is an example, some screenshots of my site. My home page, Website Creation Workshop, my programs page, my about page, my contact page, and then my blog. Now, WordPress, and this is what we're talking about today, WordPress is made up of 8 different components, 8 main WordPress components. And so I'm going to show you where these are. So let's go inside to see how WordPress works. And I'm going to pause for a minute. I want to make sure I'm not going too fast. So if you could just type, I don't have a poll, I just want to pause. Is the pacing good, or am I going too fast? All right, people are saying it's good. Okay, I'll pick it up. All right, so let's go inside and see how WordPress works from the inside. So as I mentioned, there's these 8 main components, and the first one are pages. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at the admin dashboard on the inside, and you have pages, the pages area, the posts area, that's where you write your blog posts. The menus area, that's where the menus on the top of your site are. You might have a menu at the bottom. This is the menus area. I'm just going down the line. The media library. The media library is where you store your images, your PDFs, any other media you might have. Then plugins. You've got a plugins area, and I'll explain what plugins are. So that's in this section here inside WordPress. Then you have widgets. Widgets are the sidebars that you can customize, and I'll show some examples of widgets as we go on. And then themes. Themes are the design of your site, and themes are what gives your site the look and feel. And then you have the users area. So user would be how you would log in. Maybe you have an assistant helping you, but those are the main areas of WordPress. Now, this training today is for folks who already have a WordPress site. And those who don't have a WordPress site would need my foundation WordPress course. So let me just go ahead and take a poll. So again, today's training is for folks who already have a WordPress website and who don't need my foundational course. All right, so I'm going to step through this little quiz for those of you who have a WordPress site. So first is, do you have a website? Yes, you have one and it's WordPress. Great. No, you don't, and so you're going to be more interested in my foundation program. All right, so here's the key set of questions for those of you who have a WordPress site. Do you know how to create a page? Do you know how to create a blog post? Do you know the difference between a page and a blog post? Do you know how to create a menu? Do you know how to upload a picture? Do you know how to change themes? And do you know how to add a plugin? So if you know all of those things, then if you got a yes, then today's training is for you. If not, again, it might be a little over your head, and I specialize in teaching non-techie entrepreneurs, so I really don't want to lose anyone. All right, so if the answer was no to being comfortable, you can still stick around because you're still going to learn a lot. And I know I've been repeating myself. I just really want the newbies to not feel bad and to be able to feel empowered because you can do these things yourself, no matter what level you are at. All right, so what we're going to do today is focus on plugins. So what are WordPress plugins? Well, plugins are like adding apps to your phone. So you get a phone, either an Apple phone, iPhone, or a Droid. It comes out of the box with the software. And then there might be special things you want to do, like you might add the Clubhouse app, or you might add the Instagram app or Facebook app, or maybe there's other things you want to do on your phone. Plugins are like adding apps. You add them on. And plugins can be visible effects, or they can be behind the scenes. So, and I'm going to show you some examples with WordPress with plugins that are visible and some that are behind the scenes. So here's an example of a visible effect is a falling snow. You know, it's kind of fun. Not everybody has falling snow. I tend to turn it on during the holidays, but it adds this cool effect where the snow falls on your site. Another visible effect is social media sharing icons. So that would be a plugin you would add, and then when people come to your site, and I'm going to show some examples of that later, that you give them the ability to share your site to others on social media. So here's an example of a behind the scenes plugin would be a backup plugin. And there's really nothing pretty to show. That's why I'm showing you a screenshot of inside WordPress where you would go so you could do backups of your site. Another example, Another example is search engine optimization, and I am going to be talking about this plugin. So it's things you do behind the scenes to make your site work better for the search engines. So when there are over 59,000 plugins in WordPress, how do you choose? All right, so what are we learning today, right? So the headline of today's training is my top 10 list of easy WordPress plugins every site needs. And these are my list of easy plugins. I like easy plugins. Some plugins are a little more complicated, but these are the easy plugins. And there's going to be other plugins you might want to add, and some of these others that you might want to add, I'm not going to have in today's list. So this is not comprehensive. This is just my top 10 list of the easy WordPress plugins every site needs. All right, so let's start off with number 1, which is search engine optimization, also known as SEO. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. And although WordPress is already very search engine friendly, there are things that you can do to boost your SEO results without needing to hire an SEO expert. SEO experts are very expensive. So my first one is Yoast SEO. So there's a couple of others, but Yoast is really popular, and it helps you not only improve your search engine optimization, it also helps improve your readability on your site, and it creates a special map for Google. And even if you don't want to SEO your site, it's going to make you a better writer. So here is a screenshot of inside WordPress, if you can see it on my slides, and it's going to show you, give you a preview of how you're going to show up in search and helping with readability. So let me just explain this slide for a minute. I know I'm teaching a lot. I don't expect you to absorb everything, but the more you see things, the faster you learn. So you'll see on this screen, it's showing the readability and the things that I need to fix. And when you have your readability all in green, so it's like red light, green, red light, yellow light, green light, right? When you want all green lights. So in this example on my screen, my SEO is good, but my readability still needs a little bit of improvements. And this plugin will tell you, I've got consecutive sentences starting with the same words, and I need some more transition words. So this is one of the things I love about Yoast SEO, is it helps you write better articles. So isn't that awesome? Okay, top plugin number 2 is about cloning your pages. Cloning your pages. So what does that mean? Cloning is really copying a page, and you can do this with a page on WordPress, or you can do it with a blog post. So here is an example. I had one training called The Simple Truth About Succeeding Online. I was going to do another webinar training. So no reason to retype it all. I just cloned this and made a new post and then changed some of the words, but I kept my picture, changed the main hero picture, kept the arrow. So it's really convenient. I use this all the time as I clone a page. And the name of that is called Yoast Duplicate Post. So Yoast SEO has another plugin called Yoast Duplicate Post. It duplicates your pages or posts into a new draft, saves you the time of copying over. And here's a practical example that everybody might be able to use. Let's say you have a portfolio page of an example of clients that you work with. Well, you can use duplicate post when you get a new client example. And here's why I love how easy this is. When you install this plugin, it adds a little link that just says copy to a new draft. You click it, it duplicates it, and it copies your page or blog post into a new draft. All right, rolling along, we are up to plugin number 3, which is called Redirection. Redirection. And do you know what redirection is? I'm going to explain it. So redirection jumps you over to another page. So for example, maybe on my site when I'm running the website creation workshop and I have a link to my next workshop, I have a sign up to be notified page, and once they sign up to get notified and I'm ready to open the page for registration, it takes them over to another page. So here is how redirection works, right? So this is the concept of redirecting someone somewhere else. So when somebody types this in, when I'm doing a open enrollment for the website creation workshop, it will redirect them to another page where they can go and register, right? So redirection jumps you from one place to another. Now, you might think, I don't know if I really need that, but at some point you're gonna want to have it. So there are two plugins to do this redirection. One's just called Redirection, and the other one's called Quick Page Post Redirect. And I like both of them. So here's just an example on the inside of WordPress. You just specify where you want it to go, and when they click, they'll get to the new place. So this is a screenshot of the Quick Page Post Redirect, and then here is an example of what it looks like. When you click, it will go to the other page. So you click on a pretty link, and then it will take you over to another page. So that is redirection. Okay, number 4, let's hide some widgets. Let's hide some widgets. And I'm just curious, does anybody know the art history reference of this image? It was Magritte who did a painting like this. My background is in art history, so I thought I'd just throw that in. All right, so let's hide some widgets. Widget areas are like shelves in a bookcase. Widgets are the things you put in the shelves. So, and I'm going to show you an example. So widget areas, like you got this bookshelf, and you got the bottom of the bookshelf and the top of the bookshelf and different sides of the bookshelf. Well, widget items are the things that go in the bookshelf. So in this screenshot of one of my students, here is her sidebar widgets area. And she's got 1, 2, 3, 4 different widgets in here. So she's added a search box, she's added a recent posts, she's added an archives page, and then some categories. And she was in the process of building her site. So she was in the building stage. So these are different widgets. So you can decide which widgets to hide or show on different pages or posts. So here's my blog, and I've got these different widgets. You can decide what you want to be seen or not seen, and you can mix and match it with this wonderful plugin. I absolutely love it, called Widget Options. So Widget Options manages the visibility of your different, hold on one second, gotta turn off those bings. Okay, let me just say that again. Widget Options manages the visibility of your widgets on some pages but not others. So let me keep going with my slides. As you can see, I like to teach with pictures. So in the widgets area, so this is the back end of a WordPress site, you click on the visibility of each widget and you can control it. So you can click on the visibility button and you can hide things. So let me show you an example. So on my blog, on the sidebar, I have an opt-in box, and someone can go ahead and opt in for the 7 most effective website types for your business, so that's an opt-in. And then on the thank you page, that opt-in box is gone because they've already opted in, so there's no reason to show it again. So this is the email opt-in thank you. Once you opt in, it says you're on the list, and then there's a little video of me spoofing dressed up as Julia Child, so you might want to try that out. So that is an example of widget options, and it's very easy to use, and you can hide things on certain pages. All right, so let me keep going. We are up to number 5, which is excluding some pages from your site search. So let me explain that. So most websites have search boxes, and just type in the chat, have you seen search boxes? Do you know what I'm talking about with a search box? If you're in GoToWebinar. So most websites have search boxes. Not every website does, but most websites have some kind of a search box. So one thing you can do, so you might want to have pages that you want to hide, right? Like you don't want somebody to search and see the thank you for the feedback or the thank you, your question's been submitted. So this is an example of doing a search and then on the thank you page doing a search for the word thank you, and you don't want these to show up, right? So you, listening to me, you probably have some pages that you don't want to show up, right? So you're going to want to exclude these pages. So the plugin that I use for this is called Search Exclude. Search Exclude. And I'm going to recap all these top 5 at the end. It lets you easily tell WordPress which pages or blog posts to exclude from your search results, so that when somebody types in the word thank you, they won't see these search results. So you just want to hide them. And let me just show you how easy it is. It's so easy. Inside WordPress on the right hand side, if you add that plugin, you'll see a little search exclude, and you just check the box so that people cannot find it on your site. Now let me explain a little bit about search, because I always get this question. So there's a Google search and then there's a site search. So if you want to exclude a page or post from your site search when somebody's on your site and they're using your search bar, you'd use the Search Exclude plugin. To exclude a page or a post from a Google search, so they're searching outside of your site, you would use the Yoast SEO plugin. And note, you can have both, right? So you can have both. I just want to make sure I got that clarified. All right, so we are now up to number 6 is forms on your website. Forms on your website. So although a lot of WordPress themes include a contact form, if you use a form plugin, that'll go way beyond what any of the themes can do. So this is a screenshot of a simple contact us form. And there's many different ways you might want to use a form. Gravity Forms is absolutely the best form plugin. And you can find that at christinasresources.com/Gravity Forms. It is a form plugin on steroids, and it is a paid plugin. And I'll show you some free examples, but Gravity Forms is paid. You got to pay for it. And the reason why I love it so much is it's so good and intuitive. I pretty much have never read or never read. I've probably looked at it once. Their documentation, because it's so easy to use. So here's a screenshot from inside WordPress looking at Gravity Forms. And if you'll notice, inside I have this purple background. You know, inside WordPress you can change your colors of your admin. So Gravity Forms has its own special area, and what it has, which I love, is conditional logic. All right, so conditional logic is if this happens, then do that. So show this question if someone has answered another question. So let's say I had a form and it said, do you have a WordPress website, yes or no? If they answered yes, I might bring up a new question. So that's the concept of conditional logic. I hope I haven't lost anybody, but it's like, if this happens, then do this. And if that happens, then do that. And it makes your site more flexible and adaptable. Now, if you don't want all of that, if you don't want that conditional logic, here are a couple of free form plugins. If you want to have somebody fill out a form on your site, there's Ninja Forms and there's also WP Forms. So these are two free ones and they're pretty good too. Okay, moving along. Number 7, this is probably one of my favorites, social media sharing. Social media sharing. So what is that? Well, you can take your website and you can share it on social media. And let's just talk about why we want to do that. So here's the world, right? Here's the internet world. You can see on my screen, there's a picture of my website in the beginning. You just imagine your website. And then you've got Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube. There's lots of others. So you can share your site or pages of your site off to these social media platforms. And then on social media, someone's going to see you and then come back to your site. So I know there's people here today who learned about this training from social media. So there's this kind of two-way street with social media on your website. You send people, you push your site off to share it on social media, and then people see it on social media and come back to your site. So social media is a great way to get free traffic to your site. So not only can you share your site, having one of these plugins lets other people share your site. So let's say you write this amazing article, people like it, they can click and share it to others. So let me just show you a little bit about how this would work. You would click on the share to Facebook, up would pop up, a Facebook dialog box. You can say something about it and click on share the link. If you're going to share to Twitter, up pops a Twitter link and a little Twitter dialog box, and you can share it off to Twitter. And here's the same concept with LinkedIn. Little dialog box pops up, you share it to LinkedIn, and here's a screenshot of what it looks like when you share to Pinterest. So there are lots of different social sharing plugins. So lots of different ones. The couple that I like, and people might be a little different, you might have a different preference. These two are ones that I like. They are social share icons and social share buttons, and then add to any. And each one's going to have a little bit of a different look and feel when it adds to your site. So let me just back up. So as you can see, these icons at the bottom, each plugin will have a slightly different look. So that's social sharing. All right, the next one, number 8, is how to find moldy plugins. Moldy plugins. So you're probably thinking, Christina, what is a moldy plugin? Well, sometimes developers abandon plugins. And you know, the thing is, how do you know when a plugin gets abandoned? Well, if you're looking at it at the WordPress.org site, and I'll show that. But if you're looking at the plugin page from the developer, there's a little sign, this hasn't been updated in over 2 years. So here's a screenshot. It got updated 4 years ago. So things that are older than 2 years become a little suspect. But you might not know your plugin got abandoned. So you'll want to use this Wordfence security plugin. It helps you keep your site secure, and it will look for outdated plugins. So on this next screen, we see the inside of WordPress, and I ran a scan, and I'm using the free version. So we ran a scan, and it came up with some plugins that appear to be abandoned. So in this screenshot on my screen, you can see that these plugins appear to be abandoned, so they have like a yellow warning sign. And then this one is critical, like not only has it appear to be abandoned, it has been removed because it has a critical error. So you run this, you scan it, maybe you do it once a week, you find outdated stuff, and then you can remove it and use something else. All right, so number 9. I hate it when I hear this from people, oh no, I didn't make a backup, right? You want to have backups. So just like, you hear stories sometimes in the old days in Microsoft Word, people wouldn't, save their file and make a backup, and they'd spend hours and lose their work. Well, it's the same thing. With the WordPress software and any software, sometimes things break, right? It doesn't happen that often, but sometimes things break. Or a hacker could sneak into your site. Again, doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it happens. And then the act of God with your website, maybe, and this is really rare, maybe the hosting company has a flood or something. Anyway, there's lots of different reasons you want to have a backup. Backups are insurance. You rarely need them, but when you do, it's important, right? So having a backup is insurance. You rarely need your backup, but when you do, it's important. So you're going to want to have a backup plugin. And you can't just rely on your web hosting company. They do have backups. It's good to make one yourself because sometimes their backup is a little too old. And here are a couple of good free backup plugins that I like. There's lots of different backup plugins. So the first one is Updraft Plus. That's a free one. You install it, you make a backup, you can save it to your computer, or you can save it to Dropbox, you can save it to other places. So again, it's extra insurance to protect your site. Then the other one that I really like is called Manage WP, and this is really handy for people who have more than one website. So this is what I use a lot. If you've only got one website, then Updraft Plus is great, but if you have a couple, Manage WP, and they have free and paid plans, it lets you do all your backups and manage everything in one place. You can find it at christinasresources.com/managewp. All right, we are now up to number 10, which is speeding things up, right? You want to speed up your website. You want to have a fast website. So you can speed up your website by caching it. Caching. So what is caching? Do you know what caching is? Why don't you type in the chat? I'm going to explain it, but I'm just curious. I'll take a sip. Do you know what caching is? So some people do, some people don't. All right, caching is like a stored snapshot of your website. So for example, you're out in nature, you take a Polaroid, and it takes a picture of out in nature, but nature might be changing a little bit, right, a few minutes later, but having a snapshot of your site makes your site run faster. So when you get a caching plugin, right, and there's lots of different caching plugins, it basically takes these behind the scene snapshots of your site. So when somebody visits it, then the plugin is like, oh, well, the site hasn't changed, so I'm just going to deliver the picture of it. Right? It's a little esoteric, but I think this picture really explains it. So most of the time your site's not changing every single day, and every single page is not changing. If you add a new blog post, okay, that's not something new. Or if you update and change a headline and change a title, okay, that's something new. But most of the time your site's not changing. So why not have a caching plugin? And WP Rocket is my favorite. It is premium, but it's the fastest one. But there are also a couple of free ones that you can use, and it just helps speed your site up. And we all want to have a fast website, so that's called caching, which is different from browser caching. So, browser caching is your browser, and I don't have a slide for this. Your browser on your computer stores the image, and then your website also stores the image, the cache. And hopefully I didn't lose people on this caching discussion. But again, this is and I really like WP Rocket, christinasresources.com/WP-Rocket. I resisted buying it for a long time. Then I finally did, and I was like, wow, it really does go faster. But here are a couple of free ones that will help your site go faster. All right, so let me just recap what I did. And we're not done yet. I still got more to teach you, but I want to recap the top 10 easy plugins. The first one was Yoast SEO for search engine optimization. The next one was Yoast Duplicate Post to copy a page or a post on your site. The next was Redirection to redirect people from one page to another automatically. The fourth was Widget Options, which gives you different ways to turn things on and off. Number 5 was Search Exclude to hide certain pages from your own search inside your site. The next was Gravity Forms and Opt-in Form with conditional logic if you want that. Number 7 was Social Media Sharing to share your site on various social media. The next one was Wordfence, keeping your site safe and finding plugins that have gotten moldy. The 9th one was backing up, and I mentioned Updraft Plus or Manage WP. And on-demand backups, meaning, hey, I want it backed up right now. Like, I just made a lot of changes, I want to back it up right now. And if you rely on your web hosting company, they usually do them once a week or once a month. It seems to be more common once a month. And then the caching plugin, number 10, to speed up your site. All right, so here are the quick steps to evaluate any plugin. And plugins are like these little robots on your site. They all do something slightly differently, as we've been talking about today. So one place to evaluate a plugin is inside your WordPress admin. You can see the plugins there. Another place is to go to wordpress.org. That is called the directory. That's the directory of plugins. And I mentioned there's two ways. Really, the best way is to go to wordpress.org and evaluate it there. Use this little search bar. If you know the name of the plugin, like I showed you, you might type in social media and up pops up a bunch of social media plugins. So it's a lot easier to go to the website than to do it inside your admin. So here's what you look for, right? So you go to WordPress.org, you click on plugins, you type in a plugin you're thinking about, Foo Gallery as an example. When up it pops, you click on it. So now I'm going to explain to you what to look for. You want to look for last updated. How long ago was it updated? Active installations. How many people are using it? At the time of this, that I took this screenshot, 100,000 people were using it. Tested up to, what version has it been tested up to? So are they keeping it up to date? And another one, a little further down on the page, is the star ratings. Does it have a lot of star ratings? If it has a lot of star ratings, it means people like it. You also want to look to see, do they have videos? Do they have demos? Do they have documentation? Are they explaining how to use it? Is the developer who built this free plugin putting effort into it? And here's another key thing, is do they have a professional version? So I'm not saying you need to buy the professional version, it's just, do they have it? Or was it some guy in his garage who decided to write a plugin and put it out there? No, you want to pick a plugin from a company that's taking things seriously and they have a professional version. Again, if they have a professional version, it's a very good sign. That means they're serious about supporting their plugin. You don't have to purchase the pro version, you just want to know that they've got it. All right, so you've got a WordPress site, but is it helping you market your business? Well, you know you're in the right place if you know that you could be doing more with your WordPress site, but you're just not sure what to do. And you're in the right place if you already have a WordPress site. So right now I'm going to talk about things that are going to help you. I'm going to talk about the website marketing workshop that helps you market and promote your site. So in the website marketing workshop, I've got 7 modules to transform your website into a client magnet. Start where you most need it. You get 24/7 access to the training. We do 2 live coaching webinars a month where I answer your questions. All the webinars are recorded and downloaded. You can download them for replay. I have an extensive video library of trainings, and you get answers to questions about your business and your website. Plus, we have an optional Facebook group for community support. So, you might be wanting to upgrade to a new WordPress theme. So, if you have your do you hate your current website design? I'm going to show you how to find and switch to an attractive new theme. How to find and choose a new theme that you love, that's easy to work with and won't get out of date and break. How to replace your old or custom theme, again without breaking your website, and recover control from a long gone web designer. So I meet so many people who've got web designers who've just abandoned them. And how to evaluate theme providers and theme marketplaces, the pros and cons, standard WordPress themes versus advanced page builder themes. There's lots of different kinds of themes. And one of my favorites are the Divi theme. And so I have a whole training for people who are using the Divi theme or want to use the Divi theme. And Divi is a particular theme, and it's highly visual. You've got full width images. I'm going to show an example of the Divi theme when I go to questions, and you can get a higher emotional impact with the things you can do with it. The other thing I teach is content creation. So how often should you blog? How long should your blog posts be? How to develop a habit and system for creating content for your site and later for posting to social media. how to find and add inspiring images and videos to your blog posts. Then in the social media module, you will discover how to get traffic, right? How to get more social follows when people visit your site with easy to add social media buttons, how to know which social media sites to use and which to ignore, and how to get people to share your articles and blog posts and ideas across the web with easy to add sharing buttons. Then we have a whole module on growing your email list, email marketing explained simply and demystified, how to add stylish email sign-up boxes on anywhere on your site, step-by-step how-to instructions to set up email marketing with your sign-up boxes, and then selling from your website. So I have a whole module on selling, how to add easy payment buttons to your site, how you can use PayPal, Stripe, Amazon, or any shopping cart you like. And you can do this in just minutes with no tech skills. Then in the SEO module, how to get found in Google, Bing, etc. So in this module, you'll discover how to write articles that make you show up higher in Google, how to optimize any page or blog post for Google rankings, simple adjustments and plugins to use on your site that will help improve, again, your rankings. And then we have a whole section on making your site safe, fast, and efficient. So is your WordPress site out of date? There's people listening to me now and their site's out of date and they don't know what to do and they don't want to pay a developer. So you're going to learn the important WordPress settings and plugins so your site's fast and easy to use. If you don't have a secure SSL site, that's the little lock on the browser, you'll learn the steps to make your site secure. And you'll learn how to clean out old abandoned themes and plugins and broken stuff that a developer would be charging you big bucks to do. You're going to learn how to do this yourself. And in the Track and Analyze Your Visitors module, how to add a Google Analytics dashboard to your WordPress website, how to understand what's happening on your site and to know what your visitors are doing, and how you can improve your website to make it more sticky so that people stay there longer and convert from prospects to customers. So your website marketing machine, there's all these different things to do. One is upgrade to new WordPress theme, create content, leverage your social media, build an email list, get traffic from search engines, sell online, and track your stats. And the reason why I have this in a circle, right, is because once you have a website up, like in the website creation workshop, I teach you step by step how to build your website. But once your website is up, you want it to turn into your marketing machine, and so it kind of goes in a circle. So you don't have to do it in a specific order. Like maybe you want to focus on creating content, or maybe you want immediately, you're ready to upgrade to a new theme. So you can go in any order. All right, and in the program we have 2 live coaching webinars monthly to help you keep your site up to date. You bring your questions you have about marketing your website and you'll get coaching help directly from me and my tech coaches. You can attend a live, listen later, submit questions ahead of time, and I'll get your questions answered. Everything is recorded and stored in our online membership area for the webinars. So there's video training and the webinars. And we have a private Facebook community group. So this is optional. It's a place to go to share what you're doing and get feedback. Me and my tech coach will give you feedback and you can stay on top of important marketing trends. Let me show you a few of my clients' success stories. So this was Maureen Whitehouse, and she is an author on eco-spiritual nutrition. She said, before discovering Christina, I spent thousands of dollars on websites that were more like placeholders and obsolete before they ever got up and fully running. So we'd have to scrap them and start all over again after years of work. To say the least, it was disheartening because my work is so vital to the health and well-being of those in the throes of life transition, crisis, and challenges that I wanted to share it as widely and as effectively as possible. And doing so online just wasn't working for her. And so she's one of my students who is in the website marketing workshop. Here is another site that she created. So she said, I never would have known about gems like the WordPress Divi theme if it weren't for Christina. Now it makes up the core of my 3 websites, an online course and a membership site. Christina's clear, calm teaching approach makes grasping website creation not only possible but inspiring. She's an absolute breath of fresh air in the world of online marketing. You'll feel heard, respected, and supported right where you are at, wherever that is, while learning from her. Here's another one of my students. She's an artist and a coach and a speaker. She says, it has always been my dream to write and share stories of my photographs that I shot while traveling the world. Christina Hill's website marketing workshop offered me an opportunity to realize this dream. Through this incredible process of learning to market my website, I've been able to reach and have a dialogue with so many wonderful people. The classes were thorough, well explained, and our customer support people were always ready to help. When I finished the program, I was confident in maintaining and marketing my website. There always seems to be a way to have access to any information you need through her support programs. I cannot thank Christina Hills and her team enough for helping me accomplish something that seemed so unattainable 2 years ago. So look what Leah created. She's an artist and a coach. And here's another gal, Lauren Slade. She's the founder of the Universal College of Reflexology. She said, I love how Christina always keeps me up to date on the latest trends and technologies for WordPress in the website marketing workshop. And the biggest thing is that she really wants us to succeed. She and her team stays on top of things and makes sure everyone is taken care of. I've been learning from her for years, and has always had a new, fresh approach to things that helps me keep my business and websites running smoothly. Yes, and Lauren has been in my program for many, many years. And here's Sally Stone. Christina Hills has been my go-to mentor for building my own website since 2012. Wow, Sally, we're going on 10 years. Her trainings have empowered me to maintain control over my website, which has been crucial to updating my website in a timely, affordable manner. When I was ready for my business to expand and take advantage of the modern and very real need to have social media and email marketing, SEO, and appointment tools better organized, I took Christina's website marketing workshop. The result for me has been a complete website makeover that I'm really proud to unveil. And I'm sorry I don't have a before and after screenshot of her site. One of the bonuses in this program is online appointment booking, how to take appointments right on your website using an easy to install plugin, why you should use this for both paying clients and potential new clients, and how this will save time for you and make your clients happier too in the sales process. So here's an example of Sally, and she has a little pop-up where you can book time with her. And I also have a bonus for those of you who use Instagram. There is a link tree layout for those using Divi. It's something you can use on your Instagram. Let me show you what this is. You can use it on Twitter or Instagram. And look, if you don't know what a link tree is, and if it's one more thing, you can get to it later. So it's a way to have a mini version of your website. See, this is a mini version of my website that people can click to from Instagram. Let me show you Jamie Durner's before and after. So before she took the website marketing workshop, she had this site. She knew how to use it. She knew the basics. And then she rebuilt it with a brand new theme. And she said, I came to Christina's program at a critical time in my business when I was making big shifts, including wanting to upgrade my websites. Through the program modules and the monthly Q&A sessions, I found a fabulous new theme, the Divi theme, but I teach others as well, and learned how to use it with great results. She provides a wealth of information, answering all questions I didn't even realize I had. Best of all, she breaks down the complexity of everything website-oriented into manageable steps. And then here's Michelle Anderson, her before and after. She had a site, she knew a few of the basics, and then she revamped it. And here's what she said. I just want to make a post here and share how impressed I am with your, and I used to call it the website transformation workshop. So it's the website marketing workshop so far. I've only made it through the refresh module, but I've jumped around to check out different things, including looking at this Facebook forum. I can tell that you are passionate about teaching this topic, and so far everything has been so well and thoroughly explained. It's truly refreshing to have the step-by-step instruction when you are someone that doesn't know much about WordPress or how to create or maintain a website. Thank you, Christina. So just talking about transformations, over the years, my site has transformed as well, right? So that's why you want to learn these skills so you know how to change the look of your site if you need to change it. And the website marketing workshop, I have a 100% risk-free guarantee. I'm so confident in the website marketing workshop, and I know that if you follow these steps and do the work, you will have a truly transforming experience marketing your website. And just to back that up, we give you your first 30 days to decide if my teaching methods are for you. If you decide this program is not for you, just let us know by email within 30 days and you'll get a 100% refund of your first payment. And then after 30 days, you can cancel at any time. So it's like Netflix, you pay month to month, and then when you want to cancel, you can just cancel whenever you want. But let's talk about outsourcing. So how much could outsourcing cost you if you hire somebody else to do this? Well, custom designs often cost $10,000, or even a new website with an off-the-shelf theme could cost you $5,000. I mean, I teach people how to use the Divi theme, but many designers just take that same theme and charge you $5,000. I'm going to teach you how to do it yourself. And webmasters typically charge just $100 a month just to update and back up WordPress. And all changes and edits and new work costs more. So if you're listening to me and you've got experience with a web designer, you just know how much it costs. And not only and part of the cost is all the back and forth, right? So it costs a lot, and then there's a ton of back and forth, and it takes forever to get things done. Here's what Kathy said. So she sells jewelry online. She said, once my beautiful website went live, I was a little sad because it was so much fun to build. Okay, she's a non-techie artist. She said, I'm so glad Christina offers continuing support and education with her website marketing workshop. There's so much more than having a great looking site. Maintenance, security, marketing, etc. Christina keeps you informed and up to date. It was just what I needed. Thanks, Christina. I couldn't have done it without you. So the place to go to is websitemarketingworkshop.com, websitemarketingworkshop.com.